The Leviathan is one of the most mysterious creatures mentioned in the Bible. It appears in a few passages described as a powerful sea monster no human can defeat. Some think it was a real animal, like a crocodile or a giant sea creature. Others believe it's a symbol of chaos and evil. What exactly is the Leviathan? Was it a real creature? Or is it something deeper, something spiritual? The Bible gives clues, but the full answer remains a mystery. What does the Bible say about the Leviathan? The Leviathan is mentioned mainly in 3 books: Job, Psalms, and Isaiah. Each description adds a piece to the puzzle. The most detailed description of the Leviathan comes from Job 41. God speaks directly to Job, describing the creature's immense power. Can you pull in Leviathan with a fishhook or tie down its tongue with a rope? The passage goes on to describe a terrifying sea beast. It has strong scales that no weapon can pierce. Its breath lights fires and smoke pours from its nostrils. No human can defeat it. The Leviathan laughs at spears and arrows. This description paints the Leviathan as a mighty and untouchable creature. It's not just dangerous, it's unstoppable. In Psalm 74, verse 14, the Leviathan appears again. It was you who crushed the heads of Leviathan and gave it as food to the creatures of the desert. Here the Leviathan represents chaos and destruction, but this time God defeats it. The heads of the Leviathan could symbolize multiple forms of evil or the creature's overwhelming power being broken. In Psalm 104, verse 26, the Leviathan seems more peaceful. There the ships go to and fro, and Leviathan, which you formed to frolic there. This version shows a different side of the creature, one that plays in the sea and shows off God's power in creation. In Isaiah 27, verse 1, the Leviathan appears as a symbol of evil that God will destroy. In that day the Lord will punish with his sword, his fierce, great, and powerful sword. Leviathan the gliding serpent, Leviathan the coiling serpent, he will slay the monster of the sea. This description turns the Leviathan into a representation of chaos and rebellion against God. It will be defeated in the end, showing God's victory over all evil. Was the Leviathan a real creature? Many scholars have tried to figure out if the Leviathan was a real animal. Some think it could have been a crocodile. The descriptions of strong scales, powerful jaws, and living in water seem to fit a crocodile. A whale. Whales were mysterious and terrifying to ancient people, and their size and power could inspire legends. A giant sea serpent. Some think it refers to a now extinct sea creature or an exaggerated version of known animals. But there are problems with these ideas. No real creature breathes fire or has smoke coming from its nostrils. This could mean the Leviathan wasn't a real animal but something symbolic or spiritual. The Leviathan as a symbol. Many believe the Leviathan represents more than just a physical creature. In ancient Near Eastern mythology, similar sea monsters symbolized chaos, destruction, and forces that opposed the gods. In the Bible, the Leviathan could symbolize chaos and disorder. In creation, God brought order to chaos. The Leviathan could represent forces trying to undo that order. Some think the Leviathan represents Satan or evil kingdoms opposing God's rule. In Isaiah, God's final victory over Leviathan could symbolize the ultimate defeat of evil. In the book of Job, God's description of the Leviathan reminds Job of human weakness. No one can defeat the Leviathan except God, just as no one can challenge God's authority. The Leviathan and ancient myths. Babylonian mythology, the god Marduk fought Tiamat, a giant sea dragon, and brought order to the universe by defeating her. Canaanite mythology, Baal, the storm god, battled Yam, the god of the sea, and a chaos serpent called Lotan, similar to Leviathan. The Bible could be using familiar images from surrounding cultures, but giving them new meaning. Instead of other gods fighting the sea monster, it's the one true God, Yahweh, who has power over chaos. The spiritual meaning of the Leviathan. The Leviathan could also have spiritual lessons for us today. Here are a few possible meanings. God's power over evil. The Leviathan reminds us that God is stronger than any evil force. No matter how powerful chaos seems, God can crush it. Evil might seem to win for a time, but God's victory is certain. The limits of human power. In Job chapter 41, God makes it clear that humans are powerless against creatures like the Leviathan. This teaches humility. We might think we're in control, but there are forces beyond our understanding, and only God holds true power. Facing chaos and fear. The Leviathan could symbolize the fears and struggles we face in life. Just like Job faced suffering and confusion, we all face moments when life feels chaotic. The message of Leviathan is simple: trust in God's power when life feels overwhelming. Does the Leviathan appear in Revelation? Some people believe the Leviathan could be linked to the beast in the book of Revelation. The beast rises from the sea and represents evil kingdoms and forces that oppose God's people, as described in Revelation chapter 13, verse 1. Like the Leviathan, the beast is powerful, terrifying, and tied to chaos. In the end, both are destroyed by God's power, symbolizing his final victory over evil. Is the Leviathan still out there? Some conspiracy theories suggest that the Leviathan might still exist, hidden in the deep ocean. The ocean remains one of the least explored places on Earth, fueling speculation about unknown creatures lurking below the surface. However, the Bible's descriptions of Leviathan seem to point more toward a symbol of spiritual power than a real physical animal that survived to today. The mystery remains. The Leviathan remains a mystery. Was it a real creature, a symbol of chaos and evil, or both? The Bible doesn't give clear answers, but one thing is certain: the Leviathan represents the power of God over forces humans can't control. It reminds us that even in the darkest moments of fear and chaos, God's strength is greater than anything the world or the sea can throw at us.